Okay, everyone, we are about to start in 1 minute. So I'll be pushing my start session in the air mid. So I will be countdown in the last 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, start.
Hi, good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sharing Section. And my name is Mala Francisca, and I am the Hope Ambassador of Wahana Visi Indonesia, and I will be your host this morning for our discussion with the topic Lift Up Opportunities, Broader Impact for People and for the Earth. And I am honored to be part of this great initiative among amazing leaders today. And the topic is initiated from a real experience of Hansi Indonesia Community Development Project, which tackled the issue around and livelihood, to bringing a life for children all over Indonesia. But before we go in depth discussion with our panelists today, so let's have a look on their profile in this video.
Our vision for every child, life in all its fullness. Our prayer for every heart, the will to make it so. Wahana Visi Indonesia. More than 20 years, Wahana Visi Indonesia as a Christian humanitarian organization and the trusted partner of World Vision International works in various areas in Indonesia. To give hope for children in Indonesia, regardless of religion, race, ethnicity, and gender, with transformational development approaches through community empowerment, advocacy, and emergency response. We don't work alone. We are partnering with corporates, grants, government and local partners, faith leaders, volunteers, public figures, and media to bring a better world for children. We focus on health, child protection, education, economic development, strengthening policy, continuously improving our capacity to respond to every disaster. And keep doing digital technology-based innovation on programs as part of our accountability to the community and partners. Our commitment is getting stronger. Together with children, communities, and partners, Wahana Visi Indonesia will continue to serve the most vulnerable, respect the dignity of every human being, and take part to bring transformation for all children in Indonesia.
Okay, and thank you for the introduction, and that is Wahana Visi Indonesia. And today here this morning, in the frame of climate change and livelihood, we have here our panelist speakers who are already here with us this morning. We have Ibu Asteria Aritona. Hello, Ibu Asteria.
Hello, Kak Email. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Ibu Asteria is the Digital Partnership and Innovation Director of Wahana Visi Indonesia. And this morning we have Ibu Nuni Sutioko, Head of Corporate Sustainability of PT Bank HSBC Indonesia. Hi, Ibu Nuni. Good morning.
Hello, good morning, Imelda. Good to see you and good to see everyone.
Yes, good morning. And of course, we have Ibu Andi Siti Asmayanti, Director of Sustainability of Southeast Asia Mondelez International. Good morning, Ibu Siti.
Good morning, everyone.
How should I address you, Ibu Siti or Ibu Yanti?
Yanti.
Okay, hi, Ibu Yanti. So it's so great that we have amazing speakers today as we are going to open a lot of discussion in regarding how we can invest in social sustainability, of course, in many parts of Indonesia. And hopefully we can also give a lot of inspiration to our audience to engage even more. And of course, before we start, I'll just inform you're more than welcome to post your questions in our chat box as we are going to conduct a discussion today. So if you have any questions, any concerns that you want to ask regarding from the corporate sectors or later from the non-profit sectors, please do so in our chat box. And we're going to have our Q&A session after the today. So I'd like to start today's conversation first with the corporate sectors with Ibu Nuni and Ibu Yanti. Maybe we can start from Ibu Nuni first. As the corporate representative today, what is your company's biggest concern regarding the social issue?
We are actually, I'm unable to single out the one biggest thing, but it's a very big concern for the whole aspect. For us, ESG is embedded into our strategy. HSBC itself, we were born in the 1800s, that long ago. And it actually came from a very simple idea of the intention of just being a local bank, but serving for international needs. But when we sit here today and we see the complexity of the very changing world, from a global pandemic, climate change, wealth equality, job security, social issues, the challenges today in the global economy is just changing so fast and no doubt unpredictable, in nature itself. So with that in mind, what's happening to the world, it's even more important for us to have the environment and the social aspects as part of every institution strategy. For HSBC, it's a big concern. So the need to develop all the skills, the need for business innovations, the need to think low carbon solutions, and secure long-term prosperity, because that's what it's all about. And that's part of the fact that we also have an important role as a financial institution towards a sustainable growth, in which we hope we can also influence, more or less like that, Imelda.
That's correct. It's really hard, I think, to really just emphasize on just one biggest concern, because I think everything is just interconnected
Yes.
to one another. So maybe Ibu Muni, you can share with us this morning what HSBC has been doing in terms of the investment, I would like to say, in terms of social responsibilities as from the corporate sectors.
There is investment. I can start with the fact that it comes down to we look at ourselves first, where we make sure these aspects become part of our business decision and our thought process. So we start with the fact that we've applied these aspects into our training and our learning programs for our employees, for our staff. We need to start nurturing ourselves, of course, first, and have it all in our DNA. And also, of course, we've also looked into investing on our own operations. How do we operate as a business, as a bank, and then that's when we then apply it into how we help our customers. And then it comes down to what are the kind of the investments that we do on the community, is what's happening with our country itself, of our nation. We focus on three aspects, which is what we call future skills, future and social skills, in which we provide the communities with financial capability, employability, green skills, and all the skills that is needed for them to thrive, for the generation to thrive. And also we focus on climate impact, which we look into energy and also nature-based solutions, where we foster potential of new business development and sustainable growth within the nation itself, here for Indonesia, of course. And we're helping the business, we're thriving to be able to facilitate and to be able to help the transition for sectors, for business players towards a low carbon economy. So those three aspects are very important, and that's what we focus on, and that's what we look into, investing our time, investing our energy, and investing all aspects for us as a financial institution.
Okay, that's great. So focusing on future skills and the financial capabilities, and of course, more opportunities that is going to impact for our future people in Indonesia. So maybe, Bu Nuni, is there any programs that now, maybe examples that HSBC has been implementing, of course, focusing in Indonesia region?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot of programs. I mean, maybe if I name so many, I'll have a whole list of it. So, but maybe what I can share with you is the type of programs. So the type of programs we do with such great CSOs like Wahana Visi, World Vision, is empowering the community. The fact that Indonesia very much relies on the small enterprises, the micro enterprises, and that's some of the work that we've been doing with Wahana Visi. And maybe more on the environmental side and on the climate side, we work a lot with smallholders, small farmers, fishing community, and so forth, to look into from the environmental aspects, as well as on their livelihood, and for them to be able to build their own, a more sustainable economy for them. So those are the type of programs that we do, where we look into the fact that what are the issues, and then what's the solution that we need to tackle. And take for example social issues, where right now on employability, perhaps we need to look more into the skills for the green business, something along those lines, where those are the kind of solutions that we're looking for.
Okay, thank you, Bunoni. So now maybe I would like to hear, all of us here, like to hear from Bu Yanti as also the corporate representative today. How about Mondelez? Is there any biggest concern that Mondelez is tackling in terms of the social issue?
Thank you, Bu Imelda. It is a great question. So maybe I will start with the Mondelez. Who is Mondelez first? So Mondelez is we are FMCG. We are a global snacking company, and the headquarter always in the US. But of course, that we make our product in all the country, and product are selling all over the world. We are the world's largest chocolate, biscuit, and candy maker. You may know the brand like Cadbury, Oreo, or local brand like Biscuit or Tiger Biscuit or Clorette in other country. As a FMCG, we work with thousands of suppliers, and we really rely on the global and complex agriculture supply chain for our ingredient like cocoa, palm oil, hazelnut, sugarcane, milks, and egg. So at Mondelez, we want to contribute to the future where people and planet thrive, and we are committed to protecting the planet and respecting the right of the people in our value chain. So our purpose actually to empower people to snack right, creating the right snack for the right moment and make it on the right way. So that's why we focus on the 4 areas on the ESG to drive meaningful change at scale. We focus on the sustainability, we focus on the well-being snack, and we focus on the community. So we have a lot of, today maybe I will talk more about sustainability ingredient commitment. So we have a sustainability ingredient commitment. We are focused on our commitment on the 100% sustainable cocoa source with the Cocoa Life. We also commit on the 100% sustainable source of the wheat. And we also commit on the 100% verified deforestation-free palm. And specific on the end-to-end supply chain, we have a net zero goal. When we talk a lot about agriculture, when we look at the climate and livelihood, we know that the farmer, the producer, the smallholder, they're all facing complex challenges. And those challenges including climate change, gender inequality, poverty, child labor, forced labor, and so many on the human rights. We also know that the community member and smallholders specifically, they particularly live in poverty because they don't get the most out production or income from the farm. They don't get the maximum income or enough money to live, to live properly, and maybe to send the children to the school. These all the complex challenges in the agriculture sector is sometimes really related. It's really related each other because you can see that, for instance, child labor, maybe as a consequence of the several social economic challenges, including low income, lack of educational infrastructure, and limited awareness. We also see that women play an important role in the agriculture and in the climate change. But we know that sometimes women role is not realized. So low cocoa productivity also can encourage farmers to do deforestation. Maybe they don't realize that deforestation can release carbon emission, can create the cycle of the unpredictable weather pattern that can further impact the cocoa productivity and further impact on their household income. Those are the challenges that we see on the agriculture sector. We know that the challenge is very complex and there is no quick or easy solution. So that's why that we have this commitment on our sustainability ingredient and very specific on cocoa, where we also implement in Indonesia. We really look at on how to tackle this challenge by holistic approach, having a community-wide approach really effective to tackle this root case. Back to you, Bu Melda.
I'm sorry, Yanti, I had a connection problem for the past 3 minutes. So maybe if you can give me a sum up of really I think the tackling issue for the Mondelez is really on agriculture projects. Is that true?
Sector. You probably know that we have this net zero 2050 goal that recently published last year. However, that because as FMCG, we are snacking global company, we are global snacking company, we really focus on the sustainability of our raw material or our ingredient. Why? Because we know that the smallholder producer, they are the one that when we are talking about the climate change and livelihood, they are the one that very vulnerable because of their in the farm. They are really the one that having an impact on the climate change, especially on the productivity or impact on the community condition. Should I move to the headset? I mean, just checking the sound. Should I move to headset?
So I would say it's more 360 degrees in terms of tackling of from the sourcing, the farming, and also the society that's actually living in the farming business. So I think that's quite interesting. Thank you, Yanti. And now maybe I would like to move to Ibu Aster.
Yes, Kak Email.
Aster. So let's hear from you from the non-private sector. So how do you come about in terms of Wahana Visi Indonesia in implementing programs here?
Okay, let me start with who is Wahana Visi Indonesia. Wahana Visi Indonesia is a trusted partner of World Vision, and we are registered as a local NGO in Indonesia. Wahana Visi actively facilitates community development, emergency response, and advocacy program for the fulfillment of children's rights in Indonesia. In all of its programs, Wahana Visi encourages local ownership, strengthen partnership, restore community relations, and improve household resilience. We are not doing all of this alone. We are collaborate with various stakeholders, including corporations such as Mondelez and also HSBC. The programs that Wahana Visi did are measurable and sustainable. All programs have specific indicators to be measured starting from the beginning of the program. We also do baseline and we compare it with endline. And during the program implementation, we also have the indicator tracking table. And these indicators align with the government development indicators such as sustainable development goals. Wahana Visi also highly promote accountability in all programs. The accountability both for the community and also for donors and other partners. The accountability for the community we do by encouraging active community participation from the planning, implementation up to the evaluation. We also provide feedback mechanism for managing communities' complaint and recommendation towards program. While for the donors and partners, we provide the annual report that can be accessed publicly and program implementation report for specific donors. We also did the external audit by prominent auditors, internal risk-based audit, and also special audit requested by specific donor. Wahana Visi is very welcome to collaborate with the corporation through various mechanisms, such as cash, through the child sponsorship, and also program funding, and give in kind both for long-term development and emergency response, and also provide volunteer opportunities for the employees. This can be done through the corporate social responsibility allocation, employee donation, and also cost-related marketing. And we also open for the opportunity for the co-creation. Some examples that currently doing by Wahana Visi Indonesia, such as Farmer Managed Natural Regeneration, FNMR, is an approach to restore and improving agriculture, forested and pasture lands that is fast, low cost, and easy to replicate. This is done by a land recovery program, planting original natural plants, and engaging local farmers that the economic affected by degraded land. We also have another program that we call Green School, the fostering greater children participation in building climate resilient communities. We help students to be more aware of environmental and climate change issues, and also improving the quality of contextual learning, developing positive character, educating children about the natural and cultural environment, and encouraging children and community to participate in building climate resilient communities. We have lots of other programs that I can share later, but I think we can continue our discussion, and if there is question about this, I will explain later. Thank you, Kak Imel.
Okay, thank you, Kak Aster. That's quite interesting on how many programs that I think Wahana Visi Indonesia has been implementing, of course, in the Indonesia region. As part of the Wahana Visi Hope Ambassador, I've been really lucky enough to also visit one of the sectors that has been adopted by Wahana Visi Indonesia. And of course, the programs they do with the farmers, with the education, and of course, health responsibilities around the villages in a lot of areas in Indonesia. So it's quite interesting. I would like to hear maybe from Nuni, as a big corporation, banking such as HSBC. Why do the corporate decide to engage with a non-private sector than rather doing it on your own as part of the company's social programs?
Yeah, the thing is, we're a bank, and we're full of bankers here, and that's why for us it's so important to actually collaborate with the experts. So the experts are those in the CSO field. They're the ones who go out to the community. They're the ones who go out to the field. They're the ones who come with the need assessment from the community, the need assessment from the farmers. So, but having said that, it also coincides with the fact that we are a bank, we are a business, and it is a concern for us that these farmers know and understand sustainable farming. I was listening to Ibu Yanti about the fact that, of course, she's very much concerned about the farmers. We're very concerned about the fact that our clients have farmers as part of their supply chain. They source it from these farmers. So we also have projects on a philanthropic side, which is sustainable coffee, which we work and intervene with coffee farmers. We work also, we have a program on sustainable farming, which also we work together with fishing farmers. And of course, also with projects with Wahana Visi Indonesia, with all the UMKMs, the small, the micropreneurs that we need to educate and help them, facilitate them to grow. So for us, we're not the experts. We work with the CSOs, we work with the NGOs, we need them. And we have a conversation together. We have the same value, the same vision, we have the same mission. And that's what it's all about, a collaboration, because we're not in it just to build our image.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Maybe from Ibu Yanti, you are also a very huge corporation, especially knowing the field of agriculture itself. Why do you work with the non-private sector? I think sometimes as a big corporation, we like to think, oh, we know the field, we know the people that's working in our field, especially in agriculture. So why do you decide to work with the non-private sector rather than tackling the issue on your own in your areas of agriculture lands?
It's a very excellent question, and building from Bu Nuni, that we see that ourselves, we are not the expert. Before I continue explaining. I think they would like to see maybe that I'm actually preparing a video about our 10 years progress. Then that will give a big overview on what we are doing and with whom we are working. Maybe I will propose that we look at the video first, then I will answer the question.
Sure.
Cocoa Life is Mondelez International's cocoa sustainability program, aiming to live the lives and landscapes where cocoa grows, so everyone benefits from the bean that becomes the chocolate we love. This year, Cocoa Life is celebrating 10 years of working on the ground to make cocoa right and build a more sustainable future together.
When I think about Cocoa Life, because of what I see and experience, I think about transformation, I think about resilience, and I think about sustainability.
When we started Cocoa Life in 2012, we pioneered a new integrated approach to cocoa sustainability. Investing and working with our partners on the ground enables the program to deliver measurable impact at scale, where change is needed. We measure the impact of our work so we can focus on what works in practice to make a positive impact. Our goal was to invest $400 million to reach 200,000 farmers and 1 million community members through the program. We can now proudly say that we have built the largest cocoa sustainability program and have achieved the goals we set in 2012, reaching almost 210,000 cocoa farmers and over 2,500 communities across 6 countries. So that today, 75% of cocoa for all Mondelez International chocolate brands is sourced through Cocoa Life. And this has led to measurable impact at scale, from rising farmer incomes, increased productivity, to stronger communities with child protection systems, and helping fight deforestation. We have completed almost 300,000 trainings, reaching more than 208,000 farmers in good agricultural practices, distributed 23 million cocoa seedlings, and paid premiums. We can now see incomes increasing over time, driven by premiums and higher prices, as well as farm productivity. We have empowered 96% of Cocoa Life communities to create a community action plan to drive their own development. Communities prioritize school infrastructure, water, health and sanitation, and 70% of these plans are supported by local government. We are focused on addressing the risk of child labor in the global cocoa supply chain through prevention, monitoring, and remediation. Prevention is key and includes improving household incomes, empowering communities and women, and improving access to quality education. We have mapped almost 80% of Cocoa Life farms. In West Africa, we see near to no deforestation on or closely around Cocoa Life farms since 2018. We also scale innovative solutions, such as payments for environmental services to protect and restore forests. For example, approximately 3,000 farmers are now benefiting from payment for environmental services through financial incentives that encourage them to protecting and renewing forest areas. We know that the challenges of sustainable cocoa are interlinked, so we need an integrated approach to address them. Lifting farmer incomes, for example, depends on various factors, including productivity and farm size, as well as price. Systemic issues like this can only be solved by working together with governments, NGOs, and other companies in our sector.
I think the biggest impact that Cocoa Life has made over the past 10 years is the example that it sets to other business in terms of saying, look, there's different ways to engage with supply chains. There's ways in which you can take responsibility for supply chains. rather than just say this is nothing to do with us.
Our learnings from the past 10 years inform what comes next. And we are shaping how we will continue moving cocoa forward, together with our partners and communities on the ground. An exciting new chapter for Cocoa Life will be announced shortly. Stay tuned.
So, well, as you can see from the video that we have been working like 10 years and a lot of partner. Why? I think that building from Ibu Dwi say that we don't see ourselves, I mean, we are not expert of everything. So our environmental, social, and governance strategy and goal delivering the lasting, we would like to delivering the lasting change and scalable impact through innovative and holistic approach, including collaborate for sector-wide transformation and adoption for the measurable solution. So we believe that the partnership is the key for the lasting change. Is a partnership can create the systematic solution. So our approach since beginning, specifically when we launched the Cocoa Life program globally in Indonesia in 2012, we are having a principle, which is, we call it the principle 4, that we have to promote the partnership and advocacy through the partnership. Then what we are doing actually globally, we are currently partner with over than 50 partner and strategic partner. And specific for Indonesia, we have more than 15 implementing partner. Those are from private sector, from our supply chain, from the NGO, GSO. We also collaborate with Wahana Visi. We also have partner from environmental expert, human rights expert, and of course that we don't forget that we have to work with the government either in the national or in the local level. So we believe that the multi-stakeholder also very important. That's why that we think it's very necessary to also contribute and drive the change, not only in the sector, but also beyond the sector. That's why that today we also co-chair the Consumer Good Forum, Forest Positive Coalition, and also sitting in the board member of Tropical Forest Alliance, Southeast Asia, Cocoa Sustainability Partnership, ASKINDO, and we are active member in many platforms as well. At the landscape level, we know that in the agriculture, in the landscape level, there are a lot of stakeholders, there are a lot of commodity, there are a lot of programs, and we are progressing through collaborative and partnership with other stakeholders or other activity through the landscape. We are looking into and working on the landscape and jurisdictional approach. Yeah, as our progress, our 10 years today, and progress our ambition to building sustainable snacking company, we will remain focused on the leading the area where we can help deliver our more positive impact, and we will continue partnership with the partner that can support to delivering the positive impact that we would like to achieve together.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ibu Yanti, for sharing, first of all, the video. It was really inspiring to see on how much work you have done in terms of helping a lot of the social and the areas of lands that, especially in cocoa industry, and of course the farmers and all the different areas that you're tackling. And I think also with Ibu Nuni and Ibu Yanti, it's quite a strong statement that both of you are conveying that we're not experts in everything. We're not professional in everything. So it's actually very much initiated that for corporations to also engage in non-private sectors, so different kinds of stakeholders to also implement a lot of social investment and of course improving a lot of the livelihood all across Indonesia, of course for Indonesia region and all over the world for, let's say, for Mandalay. So it's really inspiring, and also thank you for sharing that. And I would like to hear from maybe Ibu Asta. So actually, let's say, Wahana Visi Indonesia helps their different areas of businesses?
Hello, this is
Hello,
the
Can you hear me?
sorry because the voices is not really clear. So the question on how Wana VC work with different kind of businesses, is it the question?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, from different sectors.
yeah, we have a dialogue with them at the beginning. I mean, like the planning session on what will be like the interest and the purpose and the concern of the business, and how we also know the needs from the community, and how we can set a kind of plan together. It really depends on sometimes the corporation, they are willing to support that what we already have in our proposal, in our plan, but sometimes we need to do the co-creation. So that's the option, that whether the corporation directly support the plan that we already have together with the community, or we can set the co-creation together with the corporations. Thank you. I hope my voice is clear.
It's quite clear. So you do have communication with the corporation, and also, of course, try to help to implement their vision in terms of their programs, right?
Yes.
So thank you, Bu Aster, for sharing with us on how you can help a lot of corporations also implement the corporate social responsibility. So I think this is a great discussion overall, and how we can actually sorry, I think my internet just went down just now. So I was just saying that I think this is a good collaboration that we can, of course, always engage between the non-private sectors and a lot of corporations to do more, even in terms of social responsibilities and investment as well. And I would like to, of course, use this moment to also answer some questions from our audience today, as we have a few questions that's already come in. Okay, one is from Mr. Swapan Singh, who is the manager of Corporate World Vision International. How could you corporates help include better for person with disability in families? We see there are badly victim of climate change issue. Did you hear my question, or is my voice clear? Because I
Yes,
had
we
some
heard your
internet
question,
problem.
Imelda. Would you like us to answer it?
Yes, please.
Yes. For us, you know, when it comes to climate issue, and I think this comes back to the topic of today, which is climate change and livelihoods. Let's not forget on the fact that it's all about inclusion, no one left behind. And for us, for HSBC, diversity is very much a big aspect of how we do our programs and projects. So how it is that we can incorporate, you know, better persons with disability in families. It's a matter of how we put it into the projects and the type of issues that the community with disability and families to look into, which is related to climate change. Yes. I think we've lost Imelda again. Maybe Bu Yanti, you'd like to just
I think we
continue,
lost
shall
Imelda.
we?
Yeah, I can continue on the specific question related to disability. That in Mondelez that we have DNI, we promoting the same for the all with the DNI, and those DNI embedded diversity and inclusion embedded into our business strategy as part of the culture that we have. So we also transfer those into our supply chain. So looking into the climate change, so I was talking about the agriculture. The reason that I talk a lot about agriculture because as a snacking business, we know that about more than 70% of Scope 3 emission actually come from the agriculture. So as we progress on that, try to contribute a lot and in the journey to achieve our 2050 goal on the net zero, we are putting a lot of investment on this, all the sustainable agriculture to deliver the Scope 3 emission. On the Scope 1 and 2 emission related to the end-to-end supply chain on agriculture, we are today achieve about 21% of the Scope 1 and Scope 2 on the CO2 emission. Hopefully I answered the question, Bu Imelda.
I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties. So this is, I think, one of the perks of now having our, it's good that technology is expanding, but I think this is one of the things that I have to face today. So I think, Bu Yanti, maybe if you can share your last statement so I can grab a hold on what everybody is saying on the past 2 minutes.
Sure. I think there is still a question on the monitoring and evaluation, and I to answer like more came to our website. So all the monitoring evaluation of our program, we use a third-party verification, including FLOCERT, FLOTIS, and local third party. So we have a global verification, and we have a few experts that work to support us, including on the WRI, as we map all the farm and the producer or farmer who supply to us. And today that we have 78% map and monitor on the deforestation risk. I think that I will close with say that as we progress our ambition on the building sustainable snacking company, we do believe that we need to work together on the partnership, and we really believe on the partnership for the lasting change in the either in the sector or beyond the sector. So we do believe that the finance sector will contribute a lot. So looking forward to have more finance sector to also contribute on this, all the aspect on the sustainable supply chain. Thank you.
We look forward to Ibu Yanti
sharing.
From the financial sector.
Thank you, Ibu.
I think that's what we are looking for, that there will be more collaborations between corporations, between non-private sectors with the corporations. And I apologize once again for the unstable internet connection that I'm having. But I think it is really important, as today's discussion, we have opened up a lot of insights and ideas on how actually a lot of corporate sectors can also have their programs to be working together with other stakeholders, such as the non-private sectors, to create even better programs to implement for our social investments in the countries that actually so in the vision of our business as well. So I would like to say thank you for all the questions that you have sent us. Apologies for the limited time. Apologies also for the internet connection. So I hope we could not respond to all the questions. So that I hope we can also still tackle some of the really great aspects that we want to discuss today. And we have reached at the end of our sharing session. I'd like to invite all of us to keep in touch, as you might want to take your first step further to doing something more sustainable for the community. And also, I highly encourage everyone to visit our Wahana Visi Indonesia country booth, and someone will be happy to share ideas with you. Or you can also visit our website at www.wahanavisi.org. And I would like to close with just one small statement, is that if you think you are too small to have an impact, try going to bed with a mosquito. So I think everyone has their share in terms of creating a lot of changes for our communities around us. So I'd like to say thank you today. Thank you for the insights and sharing. And we are looking forward to hear from all of you more soon. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.